So you guys, a while back, I did a share with you guys of a Monstera that I picked up at Lowe's that had some variegation on the leaf. It was huge, beautiful, and I was so happy and proud of it. But it looks like she has some kind of fungal issue. So I took drastic measures, and some of the things I kind of regret, but I wanted to share with you guys what I did to treat this plant and how it's doing so far. So let's roll the tape and see what I did to treat this plant. And then I'll come back and show you at the end what she's looking like now. So here she is, you guys. This is a clip that I recorded on March 8th. I wanted to show you guys what I was dealing with this Monstera. Again, this is the one that I found at Lowe's back in December before Christmas. And I believe what she has is rust. And so I wanted to show you guys what it looked like on the leaves. And that is the beautiful variegated leaf there that you guys see. And I also see rust on her. So I decided that I was going to chop her up. So I'm going to use these flower vases with some Super Thrive, and neem oil is supposed to treat rust. And so I had this on hand, so I decided to use this for the initial treatment of the leaves, and you can check the back for any details or instructions you guys want on the neem oil, and that's from the Captain Jack's. And I'm using these shears and they were a bad choice. Please make sure that you use some sharper, better shears for thicker stems. So here I am with her outside. I decided to do this outside because upon research before I started this, I realized that rust can spread through the air with drafts or like heating, ventilation, or air conditioning or anything like that. And I didn't want this blowing around my house or my plants. So I thought the best thing to do was to take it outside. I did want to put a bag over it before taking it outside, but I thought that I was going to spread the rust spores or whatever around my house, so I decided to just grab her and quickly put her outside. As you see here, I'm trying to show you all the leaves that I am cutting off. So I decided for the method that I wanted to take was to cut off all the leaves that were not going to grow leaves, and then the ones that had like a petiole that was going to grow a new leaf, I just cut the top part of the leaf and left the rest of the stem, making sure to cut off all of the leaves that had the actual rust on the back or the front of the leaf. This day was cold and windy, you guys. Now, I'm not saying that you should do this with your plants. This is just what I decided to do because I have such a large collection. I just could not risk the rest of my plants getting rust as well. And yeah, this was in my main living space where I have a bunch of Hoyas hanging on a south facing window in my living room. And it wasn't touching any other plants or anything like that, but I wanted to make sure that the rust wasn't going to transfer to any other plants. I also sprayed the shears after I got done cutting all of the leaves that had rust. And believe me, it was a lot of leaves. And I didn't want to deal with the soil. And so this is the method that I took, you guys. I sprayed the front and the back, as you can see here, with the neem oil Captain Jack's. You can use some kind of other fungal spray if you'd like, but I thought that since I had this on hand, it would be good. I never had to deal with this before, you guys, so this is the first time that I'm ever treating a plant for this. In the future, I think I won't cut the leaf or the plant up. I think I would treat it, clean it up, and then repot it. I think that that would have been okay to do and maybe cut off some of the damaged leaves, but not all of them. Because as you can see here, you guys, I was left with hardly anything. And so now I'm going to go ahead and cut the stems down and clean them up a little. And I'm even cutting off the soil aerial roots or whatever that are sticking out. And I'm going to dip it in some hormone rooting powder and just stick it right into the vase. I was very rough with this plant. I don't know. I just got very frantic about it and I wanted to do what I could to save her. In the future, I will make sure that I have better shears because this one kind of like, I don't know, hacked the plant up because they were not like heavy duty shears. They're just your Dollar Tree random shears and I've had them for a while. And also, I think in the future, I won't try to remove the remainder, like petiole that's attached to the rest of the stem because I did damage some of the petiole trying to remove that because I was afraid that in the water it would rot or something like that. So I was trying to remove as much as the old matter as I could. In the next clips, I will be showing you what she looks like in the water and how she's doing, so stay tuned for that. I hope this isn't too quick for you guys and, speed-wise for the video. I tried to show you everything as I was doing it so that you can get an idea of what I did to treat this plant. I was able to fit all of the cuttings inside of one vase, but if you want to divide it, that's fine as well. I just thought that it would be better if I just kept them all together rather than spread out. And just so you know, I changed the water on this vase about once a week, and I do a hydro nutrient mix for the water so that she continues to root. And so far, that has been working well for her. At first, I did have the vase pretty full with water, but I was afraid that the emerging leaves would rot out because of sitting in water. So I did lower the water so that the leaves wouldn't get rotted in the water. I don't know that I would do it this way in the future. I think that, like I said, I would just clean the leaves off and treat weekly to make sure that I get rid of the rust as well as repot her into my own soil mix because I think that the rust really came from the potting soil not being able to dry out quick enough and it created the rust spores. It says, when I looked into it, it says that rust is created when there isn't enough airflow. But this was in my main living room space where it had plenty of airflow around my living room. So I think it probably already had rust before I purchased her because she did have the markings of it behind her leaves on some of the leaves when I first bought her. I did clean her up with neem oil, so I'm surprised that it even came back. But I'm keeping an eye on it, you guys, and making sure that the cuttings don't develop any rust before I pot her up. If you have any questions about how I treated this plant and how it's doing, please make sure to leave it down in the comments for me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I am not an expert at this, you guys. I'm just showing you the process that I took for my Monstera, and this is the first time I am dealing with this. So let's go ahead and take a look at what she's looking like now. So here she is, you guys. I have her in a vase. My husband actually gave me some solution that I can mix into the water. Some of her stems don't look that healthy or happy, but she is rooting in there. So what do I regret doing? I regret chopping her up, you guys. I don't think that was absolutely necessary. At the time, I did feel like it was necessary. I didn't want the fungal or bacterial, whatever she had going on. I didn't want it to spread to the rest of my plants. So far, she's not getting the powdery stuff on the back of her leaves, but I am monitoring her still and wiping her leaves down periodically to make sure that it doesn't come back. And I use the Captain Jack's fungal spray. And yeah, I chopped her up. She's rooting. She was beautiful. But even that variegated leaf had some of that fungal stuff going on. And yeah, I just didn't want to risk it at all, you guys. I didn't want to risk my other plants. But since she's been in water, she has popped out some new leaves. I'm looking at the back of her leaves right now to make sure she doesn't have any thrips. And she has some new leaves that are going to unfurl soon. So this one here is a new leaf. This is a new leaf unfurling. And this tiny one here is a new leaf as well. Yeah. So far she's doing good. She has some leaves inside as well, like this one here. That's going to unfurl soon. And yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on her, and as soon as she has enough healthy roots, I will pot her up. And we'll have a new fresh start, you guys, with her. She was big and beautiful. You ask, what did I do with the pot? I put it outside, you guys. I put it outside and I haven't watered it or anything. It's under the elements of the weather. And she will either survive, thrive, or die. But I do have these cuttings that I can make a whole new plant. And I'm happy and satisfied with that. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Click on that bell to get notified every time I upload a video. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. I'll check you guys out on my next video. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye!